Alright, hi everyone. Today we're going to be doing some value scales. We're going to be doing some tints and shades. I had originally planned on doing chroma as well, but we didn't get around to that, so don't worry about it. But for now we're just going to do some tints and shades. Some materials that you're going to need today are a pencil, paintbrush, paint. I have red, yellow, blue, those are your primaries, black and white. You're also going to need a ruler, your mixed media paper, some water for your paint, paper towel, and somewhere to mix. I'm just going to mix on my little palette here, but you might want to use a paper plate. You're also going to need a Sharpie to outline everything at the end. Okay. Remember, you can always pause this. You can always go back if you missed a step or you need to see something again. But I'm going to go ahead and start. So the first thing that I'm going to do is about in the middle of my paper, I'm going to measure out, starting at 0. I'm going to leave some room at the side here. Starting at 0, I'm going to draw a horizontal line. I'm going to go all the way to 8, so 8 inches long. And then for my vertical line, I'm going to start at 0, and then I'm going to go to 3 inches wide. So you're going to have a 8-inch by 3-inch box. Roughly in the middle of your paper. It's okay if it's not. Okay. Then I'm going to split the box in half, roughly. Once I split it in half, I'm going to put my ruler on that line that I just made. And then every 2 inches, so you know, this is 0 over here, 1, 2, I'm going to make a tick mark, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 8, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, and at those tick marks, you're going to make vertical lines. So in the end, you should have 2 rows with 4 boxes each. Okay? This first column, or this first row, you're going to label shades. And the second row, you're going to label tints. All right. Now, you can grab your paintbrush, your paper towel, your palette with your paint, and some water. And the first box I'm going to do is this shade box here. Basically, since shades is adding black to a color, I'm going to start out with a mixture of mostly black and a little dab of red. So it should look like a really dark red or kind of like a brownish color. Almost black, but not quite. Okay, so that looks really dark. For your second box, you're going to add black and a little bit more red this time. So it's just a little bit more, it's a little bit of a lighter value than your first box. You should be able to tell the difference between the two. We're basically getting lighter as we go. We're adding less and less black. Or I suppose adding more and more red to the black. Okay. Now I'm going to take my mixture. I'm going to add even more red. Just keep adding red until you get to your last box. There we go. There's my third box. And my final box will have the most red in it. So as you can see, I'm adding a good amount of red in here. It's not completely the pure color here. Like this is the red without any black in it. But it's close. All right, there we go. So again, there should be a clear difference between your darkest black, your darkest, red, to your lightest red. So now you're gonna rinse your brush, wipe it, and this time I'm gonna go in with blue. For tints, you're going to start out with your purest color. So just put one nice solid square of your pure color. I don't recommend that you use yellow for your tints because yellow is already a really light color. So it'll be really hard to add white to yellow without it immediately going to pretty much white. Almost there. Okay. You might have to go over this a couple times just to get it looking solid, but that's pretty good. Now, just like you did with your shades box, you're going to make a little mixture off to the side here with a lot of your pure color, so a good puddle there, and then I'm going to add a little bit of white, just a little bit. Okay, put that next to my first box. Put that next to my first box here. Almost. Almost. And I can already tell I'm going to need to go over my first box again with my pure color. Okay, so as you can see, my first box is a little bit darker than my second. Just going to quickly rinse my brush here a little bit. Should note that using too much paint is a lot harder to control than too little paint. So try and control the amount of paint that you're using. All right, I'm gonna go back into my little puddle here, add a little bit more white, maybe a little bit more. Put that down on my paper. Almost. Here we go. And finally, my lightest box, it's going to be mostly white with a little bit of my blue. Oops, oh, I got some yellow in my blue, so now I got green. Can't have that. All right. Let's make a new little spot over here. There we go. Color mixing is kind of tricky sometimes, so don't beat yourself up over it if it's not perfect the first time. Okay, and there we have it. We got our shades, and we got our tints. All right, now this is where the Sharpie comes in. Find one. Here we go. All right, so now you're gonna grab your Sharpie. If your paint isn't quite dry yet, you might wanna sit and let it dry a little bit before you do this part. But if it's dry, you can go ahead and outline all of your lines with your black Sharpie. Sharpie doesn't like to go over wet paint, so I would highly recommend that you wait for it to dry. My Sharpie has seen better days, for sure. Okay, and there we have it. All right, and now you're done and you can turn it into Google Classroom. If you have any other questions, you can let me know and I will do my best to help. Thank you.